up, everyone? So today's movie I'm discussing on the channel is the debut feature of Cord Jefferson called American Fiction, which is based on the 2001 novel Erasure by Percival Everett. American Fiction was the last film that I needed to see out of the 10 Best Picture Oscar nominees this year. I was very excited to see this one. There was a lot of buzz surrounding this film. It won the top prize at TIFF, the People's Choice Award, and it also got 5 Oscar nominations as well, not only for Best Picture, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Score, but yeah, also got 2 acting nominations, one for renowned and beloved character actor Jeffrey Wright. So happy for him. He's been doing great work for so long, and this first Oscar nomination was long overdue. So glad he's finally got it. And also, K Bown also got into Best Supporting Actor as well. A fun little Oscars fact for you guys, this is actually the first time where 2 black men from the same film have been nominated for Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor, okay? That's never actually happened before at the Oscars. And also, American Fiction is the first ever Best Picture nominee at the Oscars to have the words Oscar bait in the screenplay. Yep, that's the first. I know those seem like unnecessary tangents for this review, but I don't know, they were fun little facts that tickled me and I just want to share them with you guys. And now that I've seen the film twice, what do I think of American Fiction? I think this film is hilarious. As a first feature, it is a solid debut from Cord Jefferson, a real home run. I haven't read the book Erasure, which the film is based off of, but American Fiction is essentially a satire on race and how society and the heavily white liberal media perpetuates certain black stereotypes by putting black writers and artists into certain boxes. It's fine to push their work if it's about gangs or rappers or the ghetto or police brutality or slavery because black trauma sells, but what about the rest of black culture and the black experience? That's the frustration of our protagonist, Thelonious Monk Ellison, who's played in this film by Jeffrey Wright. Monk is a respected black author and a university lecturer, and he's forced to take a sabbatical and go back to Boston to deal with some family drama, and there he ghostwrites a book called My Pathology, yep, with an F, in order to make a point to his publisher about the types of books that are being asked to be made by black writers. To Monk, this book is like a joke. It's like a drunken response to what's expected of him, but the joke then backfires on Monk when he's told by his publisher that people really want to publish this book that he wrote as a joke and give him lots of money for it. But even though Monk wrote this book under a pseudonym, he doesn't want it to be published because he thinks it's absolute trash. But because he's dealing with some financial issues surrounding his family, trying to find a decent nursing home to put his elderly mother into, Monk effectively has to sell out because he needs the cash. American Fiction is one of those deliciously uncomfortable satires. It was kind of giving me flashbacks to the first time I watched Jordan Peele's Get Out, and how it puts you in Chris's perspective and how he's subjected to all that passive racism and all those white liberals making very cringy comments. In this case, it's the scenes where Monk is dealing with these fawning, mewling, predominantly white publishers and Hollywood executives who want to sell and adapt this book that he hates that he wrote. Like, the comedy in these scenes is exaggerated to a point because it's satire, but it does feel all too real. And it's one of those situational things where if you didn't laugh at it, you would cry. Because it's just a bit too close to reality. That's when the film is at its best, when it's taking sly jabs at the system and the media and how it treats black artists and black art. That for me was when the film was its most entertaining because that's where I was most engaged. And what's smart about Jefferson's script is how all that satirical stuff is juxtaposed with Monk's personal life. His relationship to his mum, who is beginning to deteriorate mentally, or to his brother Cliff, who is played by K Bown, who has recently come out of the closet as a gay man and is showing some pretty self-destructive signs, or even his blossoming romance with Coraline, who's played by Erika Alexander. All of these interpersonal relationships that Monk has just highlights how the black experience isn't just a bunch of stereotypes. It's not monolithic, it's more complex than that. I think it was a smart move of Jefferson to show the warm, tender, down-to-earth side of Monk's personal life, because it not only rounds Monk out as a dimensional character, but it broadens the perception of what the black experience is actually like. And of course, this normality helps to amplify the absurdity of the scenes where Monk is dealing with the media and how this book is going to be released to the world. It helps us to really empathize with Monk and his frustration that a book which is nothing but pandering and stereotypical and easily digestible to the white masses is getting lauded with praise and is a hot topic in society, when his actual books that are intellectual and nuanced and representative of the Black experience just kind of get ignored and tossed to the side. Jeffrey Wright is just magnificent as Monk, but what do you expect? The man is Jeffrey Wright. No matter the project, he always brings his A game and makes anything that he's in better. And it's wonderful to see Jeffrey Wright in a leading role like this, and he is phenomenal as Monk, and I'm so glad he's getting so much acclaim for it. Like, it's so deserved. And again, just long overdue for that first Oscar nomination. And still in K Bown is also fantastic as Cliff. He's a very interesting character because he's going through a midlife crisis, but also an identity crisis at the same time. Because he's a middle-aged man who was married to a woman, has got kids, and has only recently come out of the closet and is now like catching up on all like the gay antics that he could have had in his youth if he'd just been true to himself. Again, that's the brilliance of American fiction, because it shows these Black people as complex and dimensional and layered. They're fully rounded human beings, not just a tick list of Black stereotypes. Everybody in this brings so much life and depth to these characters. After the Oscar nominations were announced, I watched this a second time. It was only on the second viewing that I really noticed how good the score was. Composer Laura Cartman does a brilliant job of giving the film its personality through the music. Like, there's a playful side to the scenes where it's very satirical and humorous, but in the scenes where Monk is with his family, it's also very tender and heartfelt. So yeah, excellent work from Laura Cartman. So let's ask them 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch it again? Yes, absolutely. In fact, I've already watched it twice, but yeah, this is definitely one I've already got added to the collection, so yeah, definitely gonna be watching this many, many times. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? Yes, I do. It's a funny observational comedy which has a lot to say about where Western society is at right now. So yeah, it's one of those funny movies which is very eye-opening. Like, it's entertaining, but you'll also leave it thinking about its message and what it has to say. And third question, what score to give out of 10? This was a really good debut from Cord Jefferson with a terrific ensemble. All the performances in this are great. Jefferson finds a nice sweet spot where it's both satirical and funny, but also has some heartfelt, familial drama. I do think the film is more interesting when it's being more funny than sincere, because the stuff where the film is sniping at the media is just delicious. But the stuff with Monk and his family is not only touching, but it's also necessary because it has something to say about what the Black experience is really like. But I will say, I did think the film was at its most interesting during the scenes where it's sniping at the media and the publishing world. So yeah, I think the film could have used a little bit more of that just to make it a little bit more biting, you know? So it's a film that you want to tell your friends about because of how audacious and daring and boundary pushing it is. But yeah, still, this is a very impressive first feature from Cord Jefferson, so I'm gonna give American Fiction a score of 8 out of 10. But as always, guys, it's just one bloke's opinion. I would love to hear from you. Have you seen American Fiction? If you have, what do you make of it? Let me know in that comment section down below. If you guys have enjoyed this video, do help me out by hitting the little thumbs up button. If you want more movie, TV, and Oscars related content, don't forget to click subscribe. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Harefield, and I'll see you next time.